Hi there, welcome back. We are gonna do my July wrap up, even though it is August 9th today. It's a little late, but that's okay. I read a lot of books. So, in July, I read 11 books. Here are some of them, and then I had read some on my Kindle, and then I have the other books at my dad's house. So, July was a good month, and now I am going to kind of go through what I read. The first book I read in July was Done and Dusted. I love a good country romance, especially in the summer. I will be reading it. This book follows, I believe, Clementine and Luke, and she comes back, I guess, to her hometown. They have a past, I believe, that they knew each other when they were younger. I read this at the start of July, so I don't remember it super well, but it follows them through the book. Obviously, cowboy romance. Obviously, they're gonna get together. It was pretty short too. I believe it was only 334 pages, so I got through this really quick, and I really liked it. I believed I rated it 4 stars, but I'll put the right stars here. So that was my first book I read in July. Great read. Next, I read Mile High on my Kindle, and this Mile High, it is part of the Windy City series. I haven't read the other books yet, but I do want to get the box set because I want the physical copy. Even though it's on Kindle Unlimited, I'm still gonna get the box. I'm still gonna get the books. In Mile High, it follows Stevie, our female main character, and Xander's our main male character. And Stevie is a flight attendant, and Xander is a professional hockey player who has this persona of kind of not caring and just doing what he wants. But they meet when Stevie is working for his hockey team, and Xander decides he wants to have Stevie, and she did not put up with it, but eventually they did get together. There was a lot of conflict, especially with Xander being in the public eye, and then Stevie also having a famous brother. I forgot that. Having a famous brother and not wanting to be in the public eye with Xander because there was a lot of criticism. They tried to balance their relationship in secret, but it doesn't work out, and they have to figure out, can they be together or not. I think I rated this one, I rated Mile High, 4 stars as well. I'm not sure. Actually, let me check. Okay, yeah, I was right. Done and Dusted, I did 4 stars, and then Mile High. So Mile High I actually rated 3 stars, and I feel like I did this because I know that the other books I'll like more, so I didn't want to give Mile High too high of a rating. So that was why. Next, I read One Golden Summer. Now, this book is, I guess, the second book for Every Summer After, which is now a TV show. And I read Every Summer After in June, I believe, when the show came out. One Golden Summer is from our main character, Alice's perspective, and she comes back to Berry Bay because she wanted to get away from her real life for a second because it was getting a little too complicated for her. So she went back to Berry's Bay, where she spent a lot of her childhood with her parents when they had a house there. Started to reconnect with Berry's Bay, but as she was there, she met Charlie Florrick. Now, Charlie, I love Charlie so much more than Sam. Okay? This was way better than Every Summer After. There was no in between. But with the book, Charlie and Alice begin to have a relationship, but it does turn complicated when I think Alice realizes that she doesn't think it's going to work out when she goes back and is away from Berry's Bay. So they kind of are trying to see if it'll work or if they want it to work by the end of the summer. I rated One Golden Summer 5 stars. Yeah. After One Golden Summer, I read Heartless by Elsie Silver, And for this book, it is the second book in the Chestnut Spring series, and it follows Willa and Cade. And Cade, I believe, Cade is Rhett's brother from the first book, Flawless. So it's interconnected. At the start of the book, Willa is asked by Summer to babysit Cade's kid. I forget his name, I'm sorry. But at the start of the summer, she thought it was just a job to do because Summer wanted her to do it, I guess. And as the summer goes on, Willa begins to develop feelings for Cade, and same for Cade. As the story goes on, they both go through some things, and obviously there's that, should we be together, should we not be together? I will say there is by the end of it, close to the end of it, there is a trope that isn't my favorite. But I don't want to spoil it, I don't want to say anything, but it's not my favorite. But overall, it was a great book. I rated it 4 stars. I love a great romance cowboy. I read a lot of those in July because it's summer and why not? And I'm sorry if you can hear somebody outside. After Heartless, I read Throne of Glass. I have started to immerse myself into the Sarah J. Maas universe and all of her books. Did it take me about 3 years? Maybe. But only because 2 of those years, I was in a big slump. Okay? 2 years, didn't read 1 book. Maybe I read like 1. Not the best. I forgot I have Heartless as a physical copy too. I also read it on my Kindle halfway through. Next, I read Throne of Glass. Now, it took me about like halfway through the book to fully get into the book. At one point, I did want to put the book down. Like, I didn't want to read it. I looked at some of the TikToks and I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And I also bought Assassin's Blade and The Crown Prince. So, kind of have to read this because I bought the other books. But this book follows Selena. I don't know if that's how you say her name. I'm not good at names, okay? And she is an infamous young assassin, is offered to be free from this job by completing a task or multiple tasks in a competition between other people in the royal palace. But as the story goes on, a lot of people start to die mysteriously, and she can't figure out why. It starts to make her realize that something isn't right in the palace. Why is her competition dying? There's also a little bit of romance starting in this first book. It's not like major romance in this book, but with Dorian, which is what the Crown Prince, I think, is more so based on with him. Like, it's more focused on him. Overall, this was a pretty good book. It took a lot for me to get into, which is why I rated it 3 stars. That was my only reason to rating it 3 stars. It's just I couldn't get into it fast enough. And I think, like, it took me, like, probably, like, maybe, like, this many pages to actually get into the book. I think chapter 28, I was kind of starting to understand it, but it was kind of confusing for me. Because I don't read fantasy that much. It wasn't bad. I think I do like the ACOTAR series more. Now, the next book I bought at Walmart because I saw 30% off, and I also saw Sarah Caroli talk about it and say that she really loved it. So I bought it. Main Characters by Bobby Palmer. Now, this book is vastly different from other books I've read, as it's in like multiple point of views of like people around them. So one time it was like woman at the next table or her boss. Like, it's people in their lives, so it's not actually from their own point of view. It follows mostly Ben, this guy over here, who throughout the book is, I guess, reflecting on his past, his present. Things are going on in his life that he didn't think would happen, like with his friends or with his girlfriend over here, or even just in the moment that he's in right now. There's a lot of conflict. It deals with friendships, loss, all that. I did like it. I read this book in one day. So yeah, I believe I rated it 3 stars. It wasn't bad. Like, I'm not saying it was a bad book, but it just isn't my favorite to it being 4 stars. And so that's why I rated it 3 stars. But I'm not mad about this book. I would read it again if I wanted to, but it wouldn't be my first choice to reread. Throughout July, I guess, I wasn't reading, I guess I was listening to Consider Me by Becca Mack, I believe is the author's name. I read it on Audible. It was an audiobook. I didn't like it as an audiobook, to be honest, but I didn't have the copy and it wasn't on Kindle Unlimited, so audiobook it was. For Consider Me, it is another hockey one. As you can tell, I like hockey too. But it follows Carter and Olivia, and Carter is a professional hockey player and Olivia is a high school gym teacher. They meet due to Carter's best friends being engaged to Olivia's best friend. I forget their names. I'm sorry. I'm not good with names, as I said before. But at the start of the book, Olivia wasn't interested in Carter one bit and was not putting up with his playboy, hockey boy act going on that he had. And that intrigued Carter, and he wanted to know Olivia a little more. And eventually they did get together, but with all hockey romances and stuff, as we've seen with Mile High, The Public Eye, how they deal with that, and was it enough for them to actually stay together or not. So that's kind of what that story follows. And I believe I rated it 4 stars. Honestly, it could be like 3.5 as well, because it wasn't my favorite. The ending, I liked the ending. That was cute. Then I read another Elsie Silver book. Are we surprised at this point? I wouldn't be. With Wild Eyes, this follows Skylar and Wes Belmont. Wes is the sister of Rosie from Wild Love. I read Wild Love I think two years ago. I read it in 2024 of that summer. This book follows Skylar and Weston. And Skylar is a famous music singer, celebrity, and Weston is a single dad who is living on his ranch, or I guess on his farm, with his 2 kids, and is learning to navigate being a single dad. And Wes just wants to do what's best for his kids, where Skylar is running away from her, I guess her past, or I guess her present, with what's going on with family issues and work issues, as the family and work issues are intertwined. When you read it, or if you've read it, you know why. But she's running away, and that's how she meets Weston. She begins to stay at Weston's farm, is kind of very closed off for the first little bit, but begins to open up. Then her and Weston begin to develop a relationship. Eventually, it gets out to the public that she's here at Rose Hill, is seen with Weston, but then some stuff happens with her dad. I don't like him. She doesn't know if they can stay together or not, but she wants to, but she doesn't want to bring Weston into her celebrity life with his kids as well. I don't know what I wrote. Why did I rate it? I rated it 3 stars. It just, I don't know. I didn't get much from it. It was a good book. Just didn't give me any feelings for it to be a 4-star or even a 5-star. For me, with my ratings, with 5 stars is like I close a book and I'm like, oh my god. And I'll still think about it a week or a month later. And for 4 stars, it's I think about it a little bit, but not too much. And 3 stars is kind of it was good, but it was kind of meh. And then obviously 2 stars kind of sucked, and then 1 star, I didn't like it. Next, I read A Court in Mist and Fury. I don't have the book with me. It's at my dad's house, but I do have the physical copy. Now, I love this book way better than A Court of Thorn and Roses. Yeah. But it follows, I guess, the ending of the first book, and Freya, I guess, being with Tamlin and Lucian. Then when she's in the spring court, she feels trapped, basically. So when she's with Tamlin, in the first part of the book, something goes on with Tamlin, and in Freya's mind, she's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I can't. Someone help me. Someone help me. And because of the deal she made with, I think, Ryslan? I don't know how I say that right. Hopefully I did. I probably didn't. But he hears it, then decides to go get her. He wasn't planning to, but he does because he heard what she was saying. He took Freya to the night court. She realized she likes the night court way better because she doesn't feel trapped. Ryslan lets her do what she wants. And then eventually, Ryslan and Freya begin to help each other out with what's going on, trying to stop another war from happening. From the whole time that this is happening and they're going around the night court trying to figure things out, Tamlin is trying to get Freya back. He can shut his mouth at this point. I've been annoyed with him from the first book. I didn't like him. My brain just knows when not to like somebody. But he's trying to get Freya back and then makes a deal with somebody, wants to trap her back in his house again, and she does not want that. And she tells him that. She's like, I don't want to be trapped. You make me feel trapped. But here in the night court with Ryslan, I don't feel trapped. So it basically follows that, and then more stuff unravels with the whole in Prithian, and yeah. I believe it ends with a cliffhanger. I read it 2 weeks ago. I don't know why I don't remember, but I believe it ends with a cliffhanger, and I am excited for reading the next one. I'm trying to read it before it all comes out, but I'm hoping with working at Indigo that I get a copy of the new books before they're released. I'm praying. I'm hoping. I rated that one 5 stars. I closed that book and I went, oh my god. And then I went on TikTok. I read my first dark romance book. And I don't know how people read that all the time. I read Insatiable on my Kindle because the whole series is on Kindle Unlimited. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. I read it, and halfway through, I had to, I don't even know what part it was. I just was like, huh? What do you mean? It kind of grossed me out, but, it was a good book. It follows Cade and Stacy, and they had a relationship in the past, but Stacy also kept it from Cade's sister because they're best friends. I guess Cade had stayed away after they had broken up. Due to how they broke up, Cade started to be very cold towards Stacy and tried to have nothing to do with her, but he still loves her, obviously has an obsession with her. It's dark romance, come on. No matter what, even though they're broken up, he still saw what she did, where she went, who she was with, and was killing the people who did her wrong, the boys and whatnot. Then Stacy starts to find out what Cade does. She does not like it at first, and then she kind of warms up to the idea. I don't know how she would, but it's a dark romance book. What do you expect? By the end of it, it kind of ends on, I believe, a cliffhanger. Overall, honestly, for my first dark romance book, it was not bad at all. I would read it again. Actually, I do want to read the second book. I need to know. I need to take a break I can't read it right away. But I rated it 5 stars. Because I closed my Kindle and I was like, huh? I was like, what do you mean? But it was good. Next, I read Once Upon a Broken Heart. I have been wanting to read this for 3 years. And then I finally bought it and I finally read it. Now, this book follows Evangeline, who a love story, believes in true love, but then she finds out the person she loves is going to marry someone else, which is her stepsister. So she goes to the place where people will make a wish to the Prince of Hearts. Now, the Prince of Heart she thought it wasn't real. He is. Yep. She makes a bargain with him. Then the family gets turned into stone, and she realizes the mistake she's done, so she turns herself into stone. And then she thought nobody was going to bring her back, but somebody did. She doesn't know who. Then the Prince of Hearts begins to bring Evangeline into, I don't know, what's it called? I don't know. She brings her here, I guess, or somewhere in here. Throughout the book, there are a lot of things, and I realized that because of what she did, she is having a lot of consequences for what she did trying to save her true love. Like, by the end, there is a cliffhanger, and it will go into the second book, which I want to buy ASAP. Oh, I rated it 4 stars. Now, the last book I read in July was Powerless. I read it on my Kindle, as pretty much all Elsie Silver books are on Kindle. I have the first physical copies of the first 2 books, just not Powerless. I haven't bought it yet. I'm going to buy the whole series since I have the first 2. But I wanted to read one last book in July, so I chose that one. It's a quick, easy read that I can do. For Powerless, it follows Jasper and Sloane, and they have been best friends since Jasper was taken in by the Eaton family, and I believe Sloane is the cousins of the Eaton family, like of the cousin of like Cade and Rhett and all that. Then Sloane is about to marry somebody, which is supposedly a business transaction that her dad made her do. She realizes, I don't want to marry this guy. He also got sent a video and was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to marry him. So she runs away. Jasper helps her. They then are together for, I would say, about like a week or a month. Somewhere in there. I don't remember. As they are together, their friendship turns into more, but Jasper tried to not do that for as long as he could because he is older than her. Sloane has had a crush on Jasper for probably since they've been friends. Thought that Jasper would never want to be with her and didn't love her like she loved him, but that was wrong. So it kind of goes through that and the conflict of that. It ended very good. I liked it. I think I rated it 4 stars. I rated it 3 stars. But overall, it was a good book. I liked it. I like the whole series so far. So that is good. But that is all for my July TBR. I do have some August hopefuls. Now, I'm going away to our cottage for a week, so I have a whole week to read with no interruptions. So it's a long list, but I still have some of the books I didn't read in July, like Bad Blood, Magnolia Parks. So those 2 are on my list. Wait, I do have them. Why don't I bring them over? Actually, before my August TBR. I have 2 books that I did try to read in July. So I have 1948. For this one, I really don't think it is time to read this. I will probably wait till the fall or winter. I soft DNF'd it. I think I got 70 pages in, and then I couldn't read it anymore because I did not want to go into a slump. So I did stop reading it. But hopefully I will pick it up soon again. Now, this second book, I was surprised that I soft DNF'd it, but it was Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, I don't know if it's because I just don't like space and all that, or I just wasn't into it at the moment, but I did not want to continue reading it and put myself into a slump, so I did put it down. I still have a bookmark in there. So I'm not saying I'm not going to read it again. I just am not going to read it at the moment. But hopefully I will get back to it soon because I've loved all of her other books, so I don't understand why I don't like this one. As I said, I am going away for a week. So August is a lot more books to possibly read. I have a couple that I do want to read. Oh, I forgot the other one. But one of the first books I want to read is Babel. Now, I've heard so much about it, and I do want to read Babel, so I'm hoping to read it. I know it's arcane history, I guess. But I know there's like fantasy in it. It's kind of like Harry Potter, I guess. I've never read Harry Potter, and I haven't wanted to read it or read Harry Potter, but I want to read this. Okay, next is A Funny Story. Now, I've never read it before, and apparently it's a good summer book, so I'm hoping to read this while I'm at my cottage. Well, currently I am reading Trope Sick. I started reading it at the end of July, so I'm hoping to finish it in August. I'm not very far in though. Next, I want to read the second book to Done and Dusted, which is Swift and Saddle. It's a quick little read I can read at the cottage, so I'm hoping to read that as well. Then I want to try and read, that was the wrong title for the other one. I want to read The Crown of Midnight, which is the second book to Throne of Glass. I'm hoping to get to it, and hopefully I can get into it a little quicker than I did the first book. Hopefully I can read this at my cottage as well. Now, I just saw the movie Odyssey last night, and I've had this on my bookshelf for like a month. No, since June. So I'm trying to hopefully read this as I just watched the movie, and it was amazing. So I do want to try and read the Odyssey at some point this year at least, but I want to try and get through it when I have the time off to read it. I know it's kind of small words, but a girl can hope. Now, next book is a little sad. The Way I Used to Be. I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. I know it's a sad book. Why not read it while I'm at the cottage, okay? Now, I do have 2 other books, Magnolia Parks and Bad Blood. One of them was on my bookshelves, but I'm too lazy to grab the other ones. Thank you for watching my July wrap-up and talking a little bit about my August TBR. Maybe I'll do a little video while I'm at the cottage, but if not, I will see you next time, and thank you so much for watching. Who cares about